So, and I also, think because nobody's had to carry us, and, Janai Broom on many teams will play 32, 33 minutes, and a big fellow could be exhausted this time of the year. He's not. And so hopefully his motor will run at a high level, and he'll be able to, again, Cheney and Jay Will. I got a monster on the floor every time. I get Dylan and Janai. I mean, we just don't drop off. And I'm hoping that physicality and that energy and effort will pay off for us.
All right, Jacob, then Cameron, and then Kurt.
Bruce, I asked the guys where they thought this team had improved the most from game one to now. Jalen said the defense and how they pressure the basketball. Where do you think this team has improved the most since game one and going into postseason play with the SEC tournament next week?
I'd say that Jalen's probably right that we've got a good understanding of how to guard and how we want to try and guard, and Georgia scored 47 in the second half, so I'm not really high on our. I don't know if I agree with Jalen right now after that second half, but the team's got better, in a lot of ways.
Coach, teams have been doubling and tripling Janai Broom like crazy all game, especially these last few weeks. And he had 5 assists today. Just talk about how he's been able to impact the game in different ways.
I mean, Janai would love to score more, but I feel good about getting him the ball because he is unselfish and he's a really, really good passer. And I think that, for Janai, the ability to be able to make plays offensively and defensively inside and out, shoot it inside out, score it inside out, be a reliable free throw shooter and a playmaker, that's the stuff that translates to the next level for him.
All right, Ferg, and then Nathan with the last question.
Bruce, Cheney, first half, he had 6 and 3 with 4 assists. I mean, just the way he's playing on offense right now, how much better do you think this team is overall when you got that coming off the bench like that?
Cheney might be our hardest worker. He might be our hardest worker. I usually lump them in groups sometimes, but he is always in the gym, always in the weight room, always in the training room, always, within the framework of the number of hours that were allotted with Coach Bowman and the staff. And it's paying off for him. It's paying off for him. He is a couple of those juniors who have really, like Denver and Cheney, for example. Those guys have a great impact this year and had a lot to do with where we are right now. And I'm about this year, but those two guys are going to be stars for us next year.
Nathan was the last one.
Bruce, the guys that were honored pregame for Senior Day. I know you've talked about this being a hard-working group this season. I guess how would you characterize those guys that have been with you last few years now, Janai for a couple years? What are sort of the things that will stand out to you about that group?
I think the number one thing that'll stand out to me is how much they love Auburn and how much Auburn loves them. I know it sounds goofy. It's not. It's real. They love Auburn, and they love the opportunity Auburn's given them. They love our fans. They love playing in front of the Jungle and Neville and Maria, and they're grateful. They are. And I think that's the reason why guys stay 4 or 5 years. That's why it's not been a kind of a revolving door. It's got far less to do with me and my coaching staff and a lot to do with our university and our community, the way they're treated, the way they serve. That stands up to me. Dylan Cardwell obviously is a leader in that regard. He'll historically, go down as one of the great student athletes at Auburn, not just because of what he did on the court, but what he does in the community and his ministry. The impact Janai Broom's had on our team. Everybody loves hardworking guys like Chris Moore and Jalen Williams, the all-time winningest player, and Leor Berman, 5 years in graduate school. And I mean, the whole group. They have represented Auburn basketball extremely well.
Thank you, Coach, and thank you, everyone. We just wanted to do a short presentation while everyone's here. I know I'm going to embarrass her right now, but Miss Kathy Harker, you all know her.
Come on, Miss Kathy. Come on, Miss Kathy. You've been taking care of these people for years and years. Step up. Come on, step up. Come on, Let's give her a big hand. Let's give her a big hand.